So in this example, it says convert each angle from degrees to radian measures. So before we do that for each one of these here, let's recap our understanding of degrees and radians. Degrees give us an angle measure. And radians give us a length. So we had learned in an earlier section that a circumference, and a circumference is the distance all the way around a circle. That's its perimeter. So we know that the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Every circle will have a factor of 2 pi in it. What separates one circle from another circle is the size of its radius. So if this is a unit circle has a radius of 1 unit. So then the distance all the way around here, our unit circle, is going to be 2 pi. Because 2 pi times a radius of 1 is 2 pi. So if we went from here, started here, and went all the way around up to here, the distance or the length or the arc length all the way around that circle is 2 pi. So if all the way around this circle here is 2 pi, the length is 2 pi, then halfway around would be half of 2 pi, or in other words, pi. If from here all the way to here has a length of pi, then half that distance would be 1/2 pi, or we just say pi over 2. So from here to here is pi over 2. Here's 2 pi over 2, or we reduce that to pi. Here's 3 pi over 2, or 3/2 pi. And then, of course, 4 pi over 2, which reduces to 2 pi. So we know that the angle measure from here all the way up to here, that's 180 degrees. Half of 180 degrees, we know this to be 90 degrees. Of course, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, another 90 degrees. This is 270 degrees. And then, of course, all the way around, this becomes 360 degrees. So now we know that there's a relationship between the angle measure in a unit circle and its length, its arc length. So half of 90 degrees, we know from our special right triangles, this is going to be 45 degrees. So 45 degrees is half of 90 degrees. So then half of pi over 2 is pi over 4. Here's 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, which reduces to pi over 2. Another 45 degrees. This is 3 pi over 4. And we know that to be 135 degrees. Another 45 degrees. That's 4 pi over 4, which reduces to pi. Over here, hopefully you guessed it, this is 5 pi over 4. And this is 225 degrees. 6 pi over 4, that simplifies to 3 pi over 2. 7 pi over 4. That's 315 degrees. And another 45 degrees, that is 8 pi over 4, which simplifies to 2 pi. So what we're doing is we're just using our understanding that 180 degrees is pi, and then we're just dividing up our circle into these sectors. Okay? "30 degrees, we've used that for a special right triangle. 30 degrees is 1/3 of 90 degrees. And then 1/3 of pi over 2, that's pi over 6. 60 degrees, that's twice of 30 degrees. So that's 2 pi over 6, which simplifies to pi over 3. And that pattern also continues all the way around our unit circle. If we know that 180 degrees is equal to pi radians, and I'm just going to write it over here. A nice shorthand radians is RAD. So if I know 180 degrees is equal to pi radians, then I could say that 1 degree is equal to pi over 180 radian. So using that, we can now answer these problems up here. 150 degrees, that's for letter A, is going to equal to 150 times pi over 180 radian, which is the same as 150 pi over 180, and we could simplify 150 pi over 180, and that simplifies to 5/6 or 5 pi over 6 radian. 150 degrees is right about here, and that's where 5 pi over 6 would be. So for A, we have 5 pi over 6 radian. Let's try B. 45 degrees, that's going to be 45 times pi over 180. So this is 45 pi over 180. And when we reduce 45 over 180, that becomes pi over 4 radian, which we pointed out earlier is right over here. So this is pi over 4 radian. Let's try C. 212 degrees. That's going to be 212 pi over 180 radians. 212 pi over 180. We simplify 212 over 180. That becomes 53 pi over 45 radian. 212 degrees, that's somewhere over here. That is 32 degrees beyond 180. So that's somewhere over here. So that's 53 over 45 pi radians. 90 degrees, we can see right here, 90 degrees. That's 90 pi over 180. That reduces to pi over 2. So this is pi over 2. And then finally for E, that's 300 degrees. That's going to be 300 pi over 180 radians. 300 over 180. That simplifies to 5/3 pi or 5 pi over 3. And you could certainly use your calculator to go ahead and do your simplification here. But 30 over 18, we could do our simplifying that way. But 5 pi over 3 radians, 300 degrees. That's right around here. 60 degrees less than 360. And that's where 5 pi over 3 would come in. So that's this one. And there we have it.